we have behind, and we have the hands turned out. We have 3 basic positions, keeping the really good form.
We're going to start with some easy stuff for how do we start working on strengthening for what Marcelo needs, right? And you look like a guy who does a lot of bench press and loaded front end stuff, is we tend to neglect stuff back here, right? If I'm going to program something for him, I want to work on lots of stuff back here because it'll be beneficial for him to teach that shoulder blade, seated position, how to help him get back here, how to start working on strengthening everything around that shoulder, shoulder blade, and rotator cuff, because those are things going to be important for him for his sport, for throwing people around and choking people. Is we're going to take a band, right? And all I want you to do is hold it right there, right? It's going to be out in front of you. Elbows are going to stay straight for me. No compensation through here. All I want you to do is work on pulling apart, but I want you to initiate the pull from your shoulder blades first and then from your shoulders. So pull from here and then pull apart. There you go, and then back slow. Every time you pull, I want you to pull from shoulder blades first and then pull apart. And if you think that's too hard, we're going to do 15 reps. Okay. If you think that's too hard, we can go single band instead of double band.
If it's too hard, we'll do 16 reps.
So no ego involved. You do what you can for 15 reps, right? You want it challenging, but you don't want it like, you know, Marcelo's pulling and it's going to here. You want to keep that 15 reps going to there. If he's at like number 3 and all of a sudden is only moving half an inch, not moving very far, the band's too strong, right? So what we're working on is strength endurance, and at the same time, strength endurance of the muscles back here, but also making sure he's not compensating through his ribs. Pull your ribs down, do a mini crunch. There you go. Now keep that as you pull. There you go. So now I can start to see he's shaking down here. We got ribs and core involved. We got backside, rhomboids, mid-trap, all these muscles between the shoulder blades, rotator cuff, posterior deltoid, all these really good things that are going to help his shoulder. What number is that, 2? So that's pulling apart, working on all these muscles behind you, right? So we're going to do sort of the same thing again, except here's what I want you to do. We're going to do 2 versions, an easy version and a hard version, right? Sir. So we're going to take the band, and we're going to bring your hands right next to your butt cheeks, right? Shoulders are down and back, like I'm punching the floor. I'm going to create a little tension, right? Like I'm pulling apart. Yes, sir. Doesn't have to be like, rip the band apart. Just a little tension. Okay. And now what you're going to do from there is nothing else moves, right? No compensation. I'm going to bring that thing back as far as I can. Hold it with that tension. And slow on the way back down. Let everything relax. Shoulders down and back. Tension. Pull. Hold it. Back and down. I'm not going to compensate. Everything stays tall. I'm going to pull the band apart. Bring the hands away from my body. Don't lean forward. Stay tall. The compensation will usually be leaning forward. And then bring it back. Back down. And I'm going to make it one progression harder. We're going to turn the hands underhanded this time. So now his thumbs are pointing away as opposed to the first one, thumbs are pointing forward. Okay? Remember, stay tall. Do that mini crunch here. Feel all of this stuff working?
Oh, yeah.
Stay tall. Don't let your head go forward. Then bring it back down. You're still going to keep that mini crunch. So what he's working on is pulling shoulder blades down and back, creating tension with the pull. This is the easy direction. So again, we want to work on 15 repetitions because we want to work on strength endurance of all of these things. Now, I'm going to make one big difference. Yes, so sir. Keep that in the same place. Yep. So the only thing we're going to change is we're going to turn the hands underhanded position. So Marcelo has some pretty big guns, right? So if you have like a lot of use of biceps, when you do this and open, right? Now try the same thing. Same exercise. That feel worse? Oh, yeah. Don't let your head come forward. There you go. Remember, you're going to stay tall. There you go. Then back. How does that feel? Worse?
Oh, yeah. It's a lot harder.
Yeah. See, he wants to tip forward every time he starts this movement. Now that we've worked on, okay, I have to lengthen at that bicep. He wants to do this. How's that feel? I can still see that shaking. He's in a good position with his ribs. Ribs are down. As he's pulling, he's not arching through his back, and he's not bending forward. We're keeping him in a good tall position. He can see himself in the mirror in front of him. Okay. So that's your warm-up for stuff, right? For even if you go to work.
Yes.
You can take a band with you. Like you go to the bathroom, come back. Man, I'm going to crank out like 5 reps because I've been sitting in front of that desk. The
While
other thing
watching
is,
our YouTube videos.
Oh yeah, that works too. I watch our YouTube videos.
So we have three basic positions, right?
Yes.
That's what the kind of takeaway is. So we have here, we have behind, and we have the hands turned out. We have 3 basic positions, keeping the really good form, giving that little mini crunch is the best way to kind of describe it, or ribs to pelvis, as I like to say to a lot of people. Keeping that position, try not to get any crazy compensations going on. None of this stuff. You do what you can. If you don't have enough strength, you can always reduce the tension with a lighter band, of
Or
course.
using just one. Marcelo was using both.
Yeah.
You could turn it into half strength, and now it's like really
Right.
When I pull up in that brand new thing with the iced out chain and the new chinchilla, and you aim for the heart when you walked on the floor, you a real gal Batman killer. But you ain't never did with the boys in the band with the bands in the box like Dilla. Love it when you hill up, will up, bring it back, come rewind. Touch, I have your X-Man back on your line, but I'm a real player, never.